Color is one of the main building blocks of a movie and can influence our perception of a character and situation drastically. By using our previous knowledge of the meanings of different colors, like red for passion or danger, the movie makes us play with our expectations and trigger implicit thoughts that we then link to the characters and their personalities. The Neon Demon, directed by Nicholas Winding Refn, uses exaggerated contrasts of colors and saturations to highlight the main theme of absolute beauty and dangers that come with it. In the first clip, we can see that the lack of neon and extreme colors is used to make the scene feel sterile and uncomfortable, so to speak, naked. Reflecting the state that the characters are in, the audience is extremely aware of every flaw or mark that could be on the models and so can more easily understand the scene. The contrast to the actual fashion show then also seems more shocking. This is where Jessie, played by Elle Fanning, makes her final transition from weak and innocent to embracing her natural beauty and becoming truly narcissistic. This is visually portrayed by not only the props of the mirrors, but mainly through the slow changing from cold blue light, which is linked to tranquil and stable atmospheres, to the extreme red light, which is a color of the extremes. Passion, violence, and danger come to mind. Throughout the whole movie, these two colors clash often within scenes, often in very high contrast and high saturated manner, but in this scene it is most visually obvious. In Coraline, a stop-motion movie directed by Henrik Selick, the technique of contrasting color is also used. Here it is used to visually highlight the abandonment Coraline, voiced by Dakota Fanning, feels, and how out of place she feels. Her yellow jacket stands out extremely in her surroundings, and once more underlines her feelings. Furthermore, the contrasts of the colors continued into the other world, where everything seems much brighter and colorful on the outside, but in reality everything is wrong. Still, Coraline feels much more welcomed and happy at first, which is reflected by the use of colors which later on become dark and menacing once she realizes the truth. In Pleasantville, directed by Gary Ross, color is used as a way to guide the watcher and show the community's gradual learning to live, which brings color to their life. The use of black and white film within the increasing of use of color makes the movie not only visually striking, but also gives us an insight on the characters. All that see or are colored are experiencing life more fully than the others. This scene shows the change between the passive thinking of the characters to their embracing of the dynamic and colorful emotion of love. It is highlighted by him scraping away the makeup which hides her true color, symbolizing her true self is being revealed. In Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind, color is also used to guide the audience, and this is done through Clementine's change of hair color. It gives the audience an idea of which point in the story the characters are, and also the underlying symbolism of a relationship cycle. At the beginning, when they meet, her hair is a light green, symbolizing the growing or blossoming of a relationship, like the flowers blooming in spring. Then comes the passionate red, which clearly also symbolizes the strong bond and love they have for each other. This then fades into a light orange, showing that there is no longer a strong bond, which explains why the relationship ends. And once they meet again, her hair is blue with a slight green top of her head, which corresponds with a lonely winter color, but with the possibility of spring blooming once again, which is what the audience is left with at the end, when the characters once again reunite. Lastly, the film Roma, directed by Alfonso Cuarón, consciously decides to remove all color from his film, to be able to add an extra layer of emotionality to his film. Alongside that, it is a reminiscent movie, almost like a memory or a memoir of some sorts, and so it only seems fitting to keep it monochrome, to leave more room for the emotions played out by the characters. The monochrome coloring also adds to the devastation in this clip, where the lack of color helps the audience focus on the horror of what is happening, not making a spectacle out of it, but just telling the simple truth of how it went or goes. The use of black and white palette within this movie helps make the motion seem more realistic and raw, and thus effectively tells a story. To finalize this idea, we can conclude that the way a director uses color and saturation, or the lack of color, can impact our emotional journey throughout the film, as well as add to the depth of a character.